Welcome back, horror fans. Today we're dialing into one of the most iconic slashers of all time, Wes Craven's Scream, 1996. It's the movie that saved the horror genre in the 90s, created Ghostface, and flipped the slasher formula on its head. But what happened behind the mask is just as shocking as what happened on screen. From last-minute casting changes, actors being genuinely terrified, and even the FBI getting involved in the film's original title. Fact 1, it was almost called Scary Movie. Before it became Scream, the working title was actually Scary Movie. The studio thought the name was too goofy for a serious slasher, but screenwriter Kevin Williamson fought to keep it. Eventually, producer Bob Weinstein renamed it Scream after hearing Michael Jackson's single Scream on the radio. Ironically, a few years later, a full-on parody series did use the original title, and Scary Movie became a comedy classic in its own right. And stick around because in fact number 3, you'll hear how the opening scene with Drew Barrymore had to be filmed in secret to keep audiences in total shock. Fact 2, Ghostface was almost a completely different mask. That white screaming mask, it wasn't created for the film. The crew actually found it while scouting houses for filming. It was a cheap Halloween mask made by Funworld, inspired by Edvard Munch's painting The Scream. Wes Craven loved it, but the studio hated it, calling it too silly. They pushed for something scarier. Craven secretly shot test footage with the mask anyway, and it was so chilling, the studio gave in. Today, it's one of horror's most iconic looks. Fact 3, Drew Barrymore's opening scene shocked everyone. Drew Barrymore was heavily marketed as the star of the film. Posters, trailers, she was front and center. But in a bold move, Wes Craven killed her off in the first 12 minutes. Audiences were stunned. It was a callback to Psycho killing Janet Leigh early, and it proved Scream was playing by its own rules. To keep the twist a secret, the crew filmed Barrymore's scenes separately under heavy security. Even cast members didn't know she died so early until they saw the finished film. Fact 4, the script sparked a studio bidding war. When Kevin Williamson's script hit Hollywood, it caused a frenzy. Every studio wanted it. The bidding war lasted just 2 days, ending with Dimension Films paying $400,000 for the rights. Williamson even wrote outlines for sequels, knowing Ghostface's story couldn't end with just one film. Fact 5, Drew Barrymore was really crying on set. In the opening, Barrymore's sobbing feels too real to be acting. That's because it wasn't. To keep her emotions raw, Wes Craven told her stories about real animal cruelty on set, knowing she was an activist. Barrymore would break down in tears, and Craven captured that pain on film. It's brutal, but effective. Fact 6, the phone calls were real and live. When Ghostface calls his victims, that wasn't pre-recorded audio. Roger L. Jackson, the voice of Ghostface, was actually on the phone during filming. Actors never met him in person. Craven kept him hidden to maintain mystery and fear. So when Sidney, Casey, or anyone else looked terrified on the phone, it was because a stranger was really whispering threats to them live. And it gets even creepier. Fact 7, the censors hated the violence. The MPAA, Motion Picture Association of America, tried to slap Scream with an NC-17 rating because of its graphic kills. Wes Craven had to re-edit scenes 8 times to finally secure an R rating. Ironically, many of the shots the MPAA objected to weren't even the most violent, they just looked too realistic. Fact 8, the voice of Ghostface was almost replaced. Roger L. Jackson's chilling voice is now legendary, but the studio originally planned to dub him over with a Hollywood actor in post-production. When Craven showed them the raw footage, everyone agreed Jackson's voice was too perfect to replace. His creepy, taunting delivery became the soul of Ghostface. Fact 9, the party scene took 21 days to shoot that final house party. The one where everything unravels might feel like a single chaotic night, but it actually took 21 straight nights of filming. Because the whole climax happens after dark, the crew could only shoot at night. That meant starting at dusk and working until dawn, over and over again. Cast and crew started to lose track of time, living on caffeine and pizza, calling it the longest night in horror. By the second week, people were delirious. Some joked that they were actually living inside a slasher film, trapped in one endless night that wouldn't end. Wes Craven later admitted that the exhaustion and cabin fever helped the energy of those final scenes, because the actors genuinely looked drained and desperate. Fact 10, crew members fell asleep during filming. because of the lawn. Fact 10. Crew members fell asleep during filming. Because of the long overnight shoots, many crew members literally dozed off between takes. One cameraman reportedly nodded off while filming a chase scene. When they reviewed the footage later, the frame drifted off, almost like Ghostface himself had grabbed the lens. It wasn't just the crew, even cast members started collapsing between takes. Neve Campbell recalled curling up on the couch in Stu's living room set, catching 5 minutes of sleep while Ghostface was being prepped for the next scene. Fact 11. Matthew Lillard was cast by accident. Matthew Lillard's performance as Stu is over-the-top, manic, and unforgettable. And the craziest part? He wasn't even supposed to audition. He was simply tagging along with his girlfriend, who had a casting call at the same building. A casting agent noticed him in the hallway and asked if he'd read some lines. Lillard didn't prepare, didn't plan, and didn't even think he'd get the part. Wes Craven was hooked. His manic laughter and improvised quips gave Ghostface's second half a twisted charm. Without that chance encounter, Stu Macher might have been played by someone completely different, and we might not have gotten that legendary, "My mom and dad are gonna be so mad at me" moment. Fact 12. Wes Craven's cameo as a janitor. In a cheeky nod, Wes Craven appears as the high school janitor. Look closely. He's wearing a striped sweater and hat that look exactly like Freddy Krueger's outfit from A Nightmare on Elm Street, Craven's earlier creation. A little Easter egg for horror fans. Speaking of Freddy, fact number 14 reveals how one actor's injury on set turned real blood into movie blood. Fact 13. Courtney Cox fought for the role of Gale Weathers. At the time, Courtney Cox was known for playing Sweet Monica on Friends. The studio didn't think she could pull off a ruthless reporter, but Cox begged for the role, saying she wanted to show her darker, edgier side. She nailed the audition, and Gale became one of horror's most iconic final girls. Fact 14. Rose McGowan really got hurt in the garage scene. Remember Tatum's brutal death by doggy door? During filming, Rose McGowan actually injured herself squeezing through the cat flap. The door was real and she miscalculated her escape. Her arm got stuck, causing real bruises. She laughed it off, but in the movie, it looks terrifying. Fact 15. The script was kept top secret. The ending of Scream was such a closely guarded secret that even the cast didn't know who the killers were until late in production. Pages were kept locked away, and Craven only revealed them right before filming key scenes. That surprise kept the actors' performances genuine. Nobody could spoil the twist. Fact 16. Multiple endings were written to prevent leaks. To throw off potential leaks, Kevin Williamson wrote multiple fake endings. In one draft, Dewey turned out to be the killer. In another, Gale. These alternate versions kept the cast and crew guessing and helped cover leaks, since nobody could be sure which script was real. When the truth was finally revealed, that Billy and Stu were partners, even some of the actors were floored. That twist is one reason Scream hit so hard. It shocked audiences and the people making it. Fact 17. Dewey wasn't supposed to survive. Deputy Dewey Riley, played by David Arquette, was originally meant to die, but Arquette played him with such charm that Craven decided to keep him alive. A quick reshoot of Dewey being taken out on a stretcher changed his fate and guaranteed his return for sequels. Fact 18. The original title got the FBI's attention. Believe it or not, Scream briefly attracted the attention of the FBI. Early versions of the script, still under the title Scary Movie, had leaked around Hollywood. Because the story described violent high school murders in detail, some officials thought it might be tied to actual threats. Williamson joked that his slasher script was almost treated like a criminal manifesto. It's ironic. A movie about fear of killers lurking in suburbia was itself treated like a potential danger. Fact 19. Ghostface's cloak was almost red. In early costume designs, Ghostface's robe wasn't black, it was bright red. The studio thought it would pop on screen. Craven pushed back, saying it made Ghostface look like a cheap superhero. The black cloak won, and the rest is history. Fact 20. The ending changed horror forever. Before Scream, the slasher genre was considered dead, but the film's mix of satire, mystery, and brutal kills revived it overnight. It made $173 million worldwide, spawned sequels, and created an entirely new wave of horror. Without Scream, there might not be the 2000s horror boom we know today. So there you have it. 20 shocking, bloody, and hilarious facts about Scream, 1996. Which fact blew your mind the most? Drew Barrymore's real tears, Ghostface's almost red costume, or the idea that the FBI once looked into the script? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Hit like if you survived this video, and subscribe for more horror deep dives. And remember, in horror movies, the call is always coming from inside the house.